out of your support counter pick. That's why you hold that for Mark. Mark has been, for me, throughout his career, I mean, if I look at LGD's lineup, veteran, and then Mark's been there for a little bit, right? He's not a rookie per se. He's been there. He was with Dominus earlier on in his career, but he hasn't had the international experience. And so the fact that they're able to have the faith in him and have the faith that they can rely on their bot lane to be their, I guess, priority and like center point of the early game, I think is nice to see. And they're going to need it too, because this is crunch time. And Archer, watching how he plays that out, I mean, his Ashe is phenomenal. And I think what we just need is stronger team play, stronger focus on how to play around these objectives. They've been growing throughout the tournament, and adding that one name to their win column would be really nice to see.
Oh, it would be heavenly. But we are on to the Rift right now. You can see everybody just taking their positions at level 1. Keystones on your screen. Nothing's too extreme here. Phase Rush on the Syndra as opposed to a damage-based Keystone that you do sometimes see. So going for a more utility-style option there when you're up against a lot of slows on the enemy team, having that extra utility can go a long way.
Yeah, and even, you know, looking across the pond in the sense that Ace on the Zoe going towards Spellbook, I'm always appreciative because there's a lot of utility on the side of, or like CC elements on the side of LGD.
Yeah.
So even just having the option of moving towards Cleanse and then matching Teleport. I mean, theoretically, most Syndras would go TP, but being able to match TP in that scenario, just being able to TP back in lane and not lose out in experience, I think is a smart option here.
Yeah, but talking about Teleport, look at the summoner spells of GA and Kramer both. You mentioned how this is a type of composition that you've got to respect with Cleanse if you're playing against V3, and LGD seem to be in stark agreement with you, sir, as Cleanse is taking on both GA and Kramer here to avoid some of that CC power. We'll see how much value they can get out of that as we move forward in this game, but there's also a lot of denial ability towards the pick potential of V3 in the ultimates of both the Bard and the Kindred.
Yeah, that makes it going to be really dicey in a lot of these team fights. And it's most of the time going to be which support roams first. That's why I like what LGD has here, where they're going to be playing through their bot side, or at least that they should be. It's going to be easier for Mark to be rotating around with Peanut, to be making plays mostly through mid lane. I think that's where they would want to head out and get CA an early advantage. The problem with LGD hasn't been, you know, not getting early leads. They've been getting like 2 to 3K leads in these games.
Yeah.
The problem is just simply how they set up for major objectives. So I'm not concerned about how the early game pans out for this team. It's mostly how the rest of the game does. So team fights are going to be super important. Just take a look at the jungle pathing here, though. Both junglers have elected to go full clear bot side to full clear top side. I mean, they're just doing bot to top. That just means that we really shouldn't be expecting too much until Cloud Dragon does come up, and then LGD could have their first hit at the Cloud Drake if they do end up slow pushing that bot side wave at that time. So those are the things that I'm kind of looking forward to. I like what I see from Long Sing because recognizing that the jungler is going to be top side, he doesn't want to get ganked, ends up poking his head out when the wave's starting to crash up against his turret. So like these are things that I think are really nice.
And you mentioned the first Drake, and I want to bring up an interesting piece of information here about V3.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that throughout summer and throughout their performance in their first 2 games here at play-in stage, undefeated with a Drake Soul. If they get the Drake Soul, they do not lose. And because this team is able to prioritize those Drakes and win when they properly do so, that's what I found so interesting about LGD's losses when watching the VODs back and seeing how the loss condition or the point of the game getting away from them was at those Drake fights both times. I think this game will be decided around those mid-game Drake fights, the team fights, the positioning, everything that plays out, the execution will determine who wins this. Because LGD loves to fight around those, and V3 wants Drake to just be what's iconic for them is top side. Longshink's forced to flash away. Good gank coming out of Boogie.
All right, but that does give an opportunity for LGD to set up for the bot side of the map. So like that's the hit that they can go for, as knowing that Boogie is up in top side. But also, I'm okay. Actually, I like the idea. If V3 does want to trade topside for Cloud Dragon, I think that's really good for them. Getting Paz ahead early on is going to benefit them. It makes it so, like, as the game goes on, the Renekton is going to just continuously punish the Ornn matchup, force him to be behind in experience and minions. In fact, it's already pretty bad as it is. That's a nice win condition that V3 can have.
Yeah, if that Renekton gets big and scary in a team fight, yeah, you got to deal with an Ornn here in the side lane. He's going to get tanky. We know what happens once he gets the upgraded Sunfire cape. It's just like trying to beat the snot out of a punching bag over and over again. No real damage. But look at the rest of this team. Raz, a Kindred, a Syndra, a Jhin, a Bard. If that Renekton is fed, nobody can go anywhere near him without being at risk of just being instantly deleted. Now, Mark's clearing out some vision here in the bottom side river. You'll see him be able to pop that ward, grab himself a level. Mark on the bar. This is one of those champions that you really look at players to get a lot of roaming done. Get out there and affect the map. Also having Kramer on the Jhin who can farm up pretty effectively there with the grenades. So yeah, we'll see how well we track Mark and how much he gets himself all over the rift here as things are proceeding forward. Wants to drop down a little vision in the enemy jungle just to make sure that if Boogie pays a visit down to bottom lane, they're going to know plenty ahead of time.
So what I like about the setup that LGD has towards this bot side of the map is that early base that came through from Kramer worked out well for him. Got an item advantage. At some point, Archer, with no mana, does have to go back to base. And the full control that LGD have towards the bot side means that when they do get an idea of Archer and Rhina basing, that they can go for the early dragon and just start looking for dragon stacking. I think that's a good idea for the team. Peanut does elect to go top side though, so let's see if that's worthwhile, because I think this is a really good window to be on dragon.
Look at how fearless Peanut is in this 1v1. He has the Skirmisher Saber completed, which gives him the red smite. Boogie opted to go for strictly stats in terms of his first purchase, as opposed to the jungle item enhancement, so he does not have the extra power of the Summoner spell. But now we might have ourselves a 2v2. Ace takes some damage there in the mid lane, but now we've got more bodies coming down from both sides. Oh, Raz, this could turn into a mess real fast. Mark has shown up. It looks like it's control over the top side river here for LGD. V3 decides they want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, game of chicken. In fact, LGD even put Kramer towards the top side of the map to secure it. That's the fun thing about LGD, or at least LPL teams in comparison to the rest of the world, is that like the smaller objectives that you feel like are completely, you could dismiss them, you can give them away.
That's just a crab, don't worry about it.
They all in.
Nope, that's a crab, and we ain't giving it up.
Yeah, they want Peanut to have that advantage early. He's had both Scuttle Crabs now, and so, you know, an early dragon that I thought that LGD have done a great job to secure, to set up, they decided to give it away so Peanut could have the early advantage and experience. So I'm not personally a fan of it.
No, I don't.
It can go a long way if, you know, if Peanut does elect to kind of time like Raptor camps and all that and try and punish Boogie a little more.
You see, Raz, as a jungler, I'm a connoisseur of Scuttle Crabs. I very much enjoy getting as many of them as I am possibly capable of. But trading them away for a Drake, not generally one of the things that I'm subscribing to. Longsheng trading aggressively here with Paz in the top side, calls in the Ornn Horn, but considering Paz gets back underneath the turret, that ulti won't find a whole lot of effect.
Yeah, and they have no idea where Peanut it is as well, so you kind of have to be concerned if Ornn is just heavily trading on you.
Won't end up getting the ulti out of Paz. No summoner spells either. He'll go ahead and head back to base now. Vamp Scepter already in his inventory. Shopping up here. Should be able to buy the Cutlass. Yep, there it is in the inventory. So just a little bit of extra sustain there. Also having the active means they may be able to facilitate a little bit more power here in the gank if Boogie goes up there. But Boogie is working on that Rift Herald. Remember, we've already only seen one neutral objective go over to the side of V3, working now on their second one. They're down a couple of hundred gold here. A lot of that gold advantage you can see. Mid lane has a small farm advantage. Bottom lane also having about a one-wave advantage. So just a couple of little edges going over to the side of LGD. Turret plates too, as Boogie grabs himself that Rift Herald. 4 minutes to use it. Considering it's not even 9 minutes in, they'll have the entirety of that timer to get turret plate bonuses.
For the YouTube viewers out there, I'd love for you to just replay back that, just so you can see the setup that V3 had towards the Rift Herald. It was really smart. They had Archer and Rhina just kind of walk through mid lane, and then when the wave was crashing bot side and they knew that Kramer and Mark were not going to contest top side, they sent Archer straight back down and had at least Rhina stay a little longer just in case enemy jungle or mid ends up contesting. So like, they had a strong hover from their bot lane to secure Rift Herald for Boogie, and they didn't lose much for it. This is what I've been waiting for throughout the tournament, actually, and I think this is one of the better Rift Herald setups that we've seen. So it's great to be able to see this coming in from V3, so we can praise it.
Very slow early game here from both of these teams. Nearly the 10-minute mark No deaths on the board just yet. Gold lead still ballooning up a little bit further for the side of LGD. She is sitting in the bush here, has plenty of those orbs summoned up just in case somebody face checks him, but considering the only person nearby is Mark, doesn't look like that's happening anytime soon. The Syndra heads right back into the mid lane to keep that wave pushing out. Zoe with the redemption means Ace isn't too worried about anything here, but Syndra will continue to have priority on the push. Peanut in the top side, running down the lane, might see if he can get involved up here. The Ornn ulti is ready to go yet again. But remember, Paz having the Dominus, having Flash, it does pose a pretty scary situation. Kindred can get bursted if she's not careful.
True, but ultimates from both Kindred and Ornn should secure the kill. I think it was just nice for the, for Peanut to pull back the moment they saw that the control ward was placed down by Renekton. If it hadn't, if he would just mindlessly push in, I actually think that that's a great gank coming in from Peanut. So it's good to at least have him hovered, especially since he's sticking around while they're pushing in. I want to see if that turns into a dive. Lee Sin is nearby, so I don't think it would be successful if he moves into the dive.
They're already looking for it here with the Ornn ulti being used. Longshin getting a lot of damage down on the Paz. He blows them up! What? Goodbye, sir! No assist required! That's a tank, by the way.
Peanut's like, oh, okay. Oh, you have this? All right, I'm just going to peace out.
The damage of Ornn sometimes, all you got to do is smile and shake your head, man. That champion is insane in the brain. As topside, the Rift Herald is summoned up. Shelly should do her best, knock down a couple of plates here. Nicely used Ornn ultimate, negating the effect of the Rift Herald. One thing you've always got to be cognizant of when you're up against a Bard, if he's nearby, even if you don't know if he's nearby, if you don't know where he is at all, he could be nearby. He's going to deprive you of that plate money, stop that Rift Herald from getting his job done.
Yeah, and it's such a consistent thing that he can do that you do have to have a bit of a mini game of tracking where the Bard is. So you don't want to just waste the Rift Herald. That's why a lot of the times when you see a team going up against the Bard, Rift Herald priority drops a little bit. At the end of the day, teams want to prioritize going for Dragon instead, but just take a look at this because Renekton was actually leaning up in the lane because he knew that Lee Sin was there. He thought that he would be able to have enough time so they can turn on Longshin instead, but nah, like, he just gets bopped.
Bonk. Ornn is just a crazy champion. And now with that extra money in his pocket, he'll be feeling just fine in this 1v1. You can see he already has the Bramble Vest to deal with some of the lifesteal of Renekton. And with the ingredients for the Sunfire Cape in inventory, that completion will soon make him that much deadlier in that 1v1 situation. Gold chart on the left side of your screen, 3 out of the top 4 people in the game wearing LGD colors. This team up over 1,000 gold now. The V3, after having secured the first Drake, are making the call to go for the second. It is an Infernal. LGD with players nearby. TP is coming in. Ornn ulti not yet ready to go. Boogie still in the pit, looking to secure the Drake. Peanut's going to move forward. Could be a smite fight. Jin able to go in with a deadly flourish, and it's stolen away by Peanut. With the Braum already dead, LGD are in a great spot here in this fight. The curtain call shots come through, but they will not chase down an additional kill. Nice fight for LGD.
Yeah, I was scared initially because that was V3 having full setup and having Renekton rotate for the fight. He didn't have teleport. It was actually a TP advantage there for Longshin. And so it was a nice initial play from V3 to be there for the objective. Because if that's 2 Drakes to nothing, that's insane for LGD that were literally just playing towards this side of the map non-stop. And so a steal comes there from Kindred. They focus down the Braum. A nice comeback from LGD. They weren't going to give that one up for free.
Paz trading aggressively with Longshin here in the top lane. Ornhorn summoned up. I don't think the communication was right there. At the same time Longshin presses R, Peanut starts walking away. Yeah. So Peanut thought the play was over, Longshin thought it wasn't, and it ends up being a wasted ulti coming out from the Ornn. Zoe finds sleep onto the Syndra, but with Mark nearby, Ace will not get any follow-up, so not really that big of a deal. Also heals coming in from the Bard med pack there, but yeah, Peanut with the clutch smite steal. Remember yesterday when this team lost against Rainbow 7, Jose Dioto was dead. He had there was no smite, there was no jungle. And Peanut was not dead. So you do have a smite, you do have a jungle. And then Peanut loses the smite fight for the Ocean Soul against an Ezreal auto attack.
Yeah.
So I needed to see the Peanut redemption story here today, and securing that Drake and putting them in a good spot here in the midpoint of this game that's going to be so critical. That's a good start to that story.
It is. I think so too. And it also comes down to the other Elder Dragon fight that was also pretty butchered when the jungler was dead as well. So they've had a few of those situations that are so basic. That being said, a great setup here from V3 to, like, at least they're trying to push LGD off this turret. But Kindra's just hovering for them. So the idea was sound, recognized that it wasn't possible, and backed away. I think just watching the tournament so far, V3 are a very conservative team. When they see a play that doesn't seem like it's worthwhile, I remember the Elise Renekton game that they had. They didn't want to necessarily go for a top lane dive when it didn't seem like it was like a guaranteed kill. They backed away from it. They had full faith that they would have the team fights later on. They didn't want to butcher a simple play in a best of one environment. That's what I've recognized. So this is another example of that from V3.
Well, LGD are deciding to force down the mid lane tier 1 turret here. That will be the turret picked up for them. First turret of the game, building the lead up to almost 4,000 gold at 15 minutes, Raz. Boogie picking up the blue buff, but now he's going to pay for it with his life. The damage comes through. See ya later. GA picks up the 3rd kill of the game for LGD.
Maybe stick in the Bard ultimate at that point. I don't know. That's a deadly one. And I love the fact that all of this is happening post 14 minutes, because even though Ashe is electing to stay bot side so they can take the turret, great. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get turret plates for that. I think LGD gets a huge benefit of not only being able to take mid lane turret, which is great for being able to take both sides of the map, by the way.
Yeah.
And then being able to take Rift Herald.
LGD, man, great early advantage here for this team. I didn't get to comment on it earlier when it flashed on the screen, but turret plate comparison when it came up. 2 plates taken by V3, 6 from LGD. So getting a couple more kills worth of gold value just out of their plate presence. Let's take another look at how much damage this Syndra did. Bonk. Oh, you hate to see it, man. He thought he was going to get it. I think the last orb was hidden in the trees. It just came spinning at him out of left field, and he didn't know that that other one was still on the way. Oh, it's a feels bad, man.
Yeah, it's tragic. Especially since they had no idea that Lee Sin was going to be there. He was hunting for a blue buff.
He was the bonus. They came for the blue buff. That was the pinata. Lee Sin was a candy inside, and they just ended up getting the whole kit and caboodle, man. That was just not good stuff for V3. Unfortunate. Next Drake is spawning in under 45 seconds now. We're at 1-1 in the Drake count between the teams.
Take a look at this.
Oh boy.
This is V3 taking another full setup on the Dragon, by the way. Last time LGD stole it, they weren't having the initial control. CA has to go cross-map from top lane. They have to fight for control. This is a good position from V3.
Bard ulti came through. Flash is going to stop that from doing its job. Curtain call opens up. Reyna going to eat the first shot. Second one dodge. Third one hits. Fourth one miss. Now LGD is continuing to press forward. They've got their Ornn ulti ready to go. Kindred also having the ulti. Bottom lane has used theirs. Rift Herald's going to be summoned up back in the jungle just sort of as a distraction. Marching over towards the mid lane tier 2, given something else to think about. Ornn gets hit by the Sleepy Trouble bubble, immediately woken up there. However, oh no, it wasn't even woken up. He buffered it with the W. Very nicely done. But now the Drake is going to be started off by V3.
And that's looking.
This team does not want to surrender this objective. There's a ward on it. Peanuts over the wall, looking to come in and steal once again. Nice brawn block onto the Ornn horn. Lamb's Respite comes down, back over the wall. Nice kick onto Peanut. He's going to be forced out of the pit, but now the Drake is slain by Archer as they're looking to go even further. Mark falls. It is a 1+ Drake for nothing, and V3 plays the fight wonderfully. They get rid of Peanut, they kick him out of the pit, and then they take the fight to LGD.
V3 is looking like the smarter team of the two. And they have CA in no man's land. Just take them down.
Oh, Reyna goes forward. He tries to get a little bit of a slowdown to set up the play onto Shie, but the rest of the team is not where they need to be in time. Ace gets the Sleepy Trouble bubble. See ya later. Archer lives up to his name and puts an arrow through their heart.
3 games in a row, and expectations must be changed of LGD. V3 is taking it to them. It may seem close, and it is, but this is 2 Drakes in a row where it's V3 that gets the setup advantage, and this time they're not going to allow Peanut to just walk into the pit and smite away the dragon.
Yep. Well done there by them, taking advantage of the fact that, yeah, Kindred places the ulti, and then the ulti's not moving. But Lee Sin can look at Kindred and say,
yeah,
but you are moving. And then as soon as Kindred is yeeted out of the Dragon Pit, all of a sudden life becomes very easy, my friend. It was Archer who was able to secure the Drake. It was Archer who managed to get both kills in the fight. And Archer is this rookie player who there's so much pressure on him to perform in these situations. When you've got a composition where you're putting him on this champion that's been so popular in the meta and it's able to do so much and it's a strong laner, you'll want to see him pop off. And hey, 2 free kills in his pocket, fuel for the fire.
Yeah, even in their loss versus Unicorns of Love, Archer for me was a standout in that game. I think Archer has showed the world so far in this tournament that he is an insane AD carry. And if you put resources into that man, he will fly. So V3 should have a lot of confidence. As long as they are together as a team and consistently play the way they have been playing around these Drake fights, that's an Ocean Soul, by the way. Once again, LGD will be put down by the same Drake Soul that a lot of players just say it's a GG sign.
It's so difficult to deal with that when it comes online. But yeah, the individual performances of the players on V3 in that last fight doing what they needed to do at critical moments. The Lee Sin kick on Kindred to knock her out of her own ulti. The Braum shield to block the Ornn ult from initiating a proper fight for LGD. We mentioned how Braum is picked against Ornn for this very exact reason. If nothing, you might not have any other reason to pick Braum, but if they pick Ornn, it can be justifiable just to stop them from getting that team fight mechanism if it shuts down what their comp does. Now, Longxing does have a 2-level advantage over the Renekton, trying to get himself away now. He does manage to grab the blue buff, and although V3 was bringing in backup, that Ornn is just too damn scary, man. He's level 14. He's got the duo of Ornn items, the cornucopia, if you will, of power that this champion just gets for free. Anyone who's not looked up the numbers before, upgrading Sunfire Cape and Abyssal Mask to their Ornn versions gives him over 3,000 gold worth of free stats. He is monstrous right now in this game.
It's insane. And if nothing else, it'll just buy time for the rest of the team. And I think that's what V3 was really concerned about. It was LGD getting control of mid lane, and so they can easily just walk up towards the top side, support the Ornn in the fight, and they would be in a better position there. Ornn would have put down a lot of damage before the actual fight had begun. So V3 is taking it, recognizing that they don't want to make any more mistakes. They're in a fine position in the game. Even though the gold advantage is there for LGD, they can play for Soul Point in a minute's time.
Well, we'll see if they're able to secure that priority over the bottom side river as they have in the last 2 points that you already pointed out. 4,500 gold is a pretty intimidating lead, especially with those Ornn items. GA also having the death cap completed means Longxing can go upgrade that. That is generally the item of choice for mages to want to upgrade when Ornn is on their team. So I'm expecting to see that come out. Usually 80 carries will want the Molten Edge upgrade of the Infinity Edge, so Kramer's still working towards that. Don't expect him to get an upgrade on any of his items because they can't be upgraded, so wouldn't make a whole lot of sense on that one. Mikhail's Crucible, also importantly picked up by Mark. So 2 cleanses, a Bard ult, a Kindred ult, and a Mikhail's Crucible are a lot of things to have to deal with if you're trying to land these initiations onto LGD players.
It's going to be really hard for Archer here in this fight, is the issue. Because even if you do take down Kramer or Xie's cleanse, yeah, you still have to deal with the Mikhails. So really, when the team is asking who is going to engage in this fight, they do not have an answer. It's probably going to have to be Boogie.
Reyna caught in a bit of a bad spot here, but now the fight's going to be breaking out. Nice kick coming out from Boogie. Still looking to see if maybe they can engage. Longxing's going to be stuck. He's going to be aggroing so much. Lamb's Respite keeping some players alive. Peanut having to run away. Double kill over to GA, able to make this fight go their way. Paz tries to run, but he's a nice pair of gator skin boots. The ulti comes through, and Archer is in full retreat. This was the moment, 1 Drake to 2, where LGD fell flat on their face in their 2 previous games. This time around, they are standing tall. They will pick up 3 kills for nothing. They'll move on to the Ocean Drake itself. Ace should not be able to contest this one. Drake secured by Peanut.
There we have it. LGD put their full focus overnight on just getting better at dealing with dragon fights. And of course, perfecting a comp where just take a look at Ornn, by the way. This entire fight, even though the triple kill went down towards CA, Ornn was just dealing with 3 people and making it incredibly difficult for Archer to deal any damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing?
Longxing got shot, if you consider each focus fire as 5 shots, because that's what they are, he got shot like 70 times in that team fight, and he's still not dead. He pretty much looks like Swiss cheese, but it does not matter because he's Ornn. Because he's got 2 Ornn items. Because he can just sit in the team fight and take a shower in projectiles. It does not matter. The champion is so incredibly strong. And now LGD with a 5,500 gold lead, with a tied up dragon count, having surpassed the point in the 2 previous games where they lost control, are sitting in a really good spot 25 minutes in. As this Ornn continues to get levels, more items will be upgraded. The Black Cleaver upgrade on Kindred was actually what he went for with his first team upgrade at 14. Now at level 15, should be able to upgrade the hat for the Syndra, or might be waiting until Kramer gets that Infinity Edge to give that one a +1 instead. Mid lane push coming through, but remember, LGD have a 4-to-1 turret advantage. That tier 2 is not even standing.
Yeah, I would have loved Long Xing to actually give that to the Rabadon's Death Cap, because there's no AP. Like, he's the sole AP on LGD squad. He is so far ahead, and the magic resist is non-existent from the side of V3. Like, that would just be a Syndra solo carrying a game, essentially. I mean, it's still going to happen once you level up if you're Long Xing. But for me, that's priority number 1.
Oh, for sure. As soon as they're in the same part of the map, I think it's probably just because he has the second upgrade ready to give.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the fact that they aren't next to each other yet. As soon as they walk next to each other, Ornn needs to give Syndra that Gucci hat, because that's going to make such a big difference here in the next team fight. As Paz finds himself in a bad spot. Nice Bard ulti onto 2. Mark looking to set it up. There's your binding spike starting off. Paz on the front lines, but is he tanky? I don't think so. Kramer puts a bullet in his back, and now they're going to keep on chasing. LGD seeing if there's more to acquire here, but they don't even need it. They already killed the enemy top laner. They killed the guy who would be diving in as the front line. And with that threat taken care of, they can do whatever they damn well please, heading over to the Baron pick.
Yeah, that's what they please, and that's what they want. Baron buff. V3 have lost their identity this game. It feels bad when you have Renekton now just working and following the team as a 5-man when he should be on side lane. Top lane turret is just still up. And so that's a problem when V3 are now trying to play a front-to-back team fight, when that's what LGD right now excels at.
Okay, LGD, how are you going to play this Baron fight out? Ornn ulti coming in,
Not allowed.
finds the knock up onto Reyna, but that is it. Mark goes after the back line, but he is alone. Rest of the team's not next to him. Mark! Mark, no! Mark! Archer gets a killing spree as Mark is just way too far past the rest of the team. Xie using the cleanse to get away from that sleepy trouble bubble, grabbing himself an energy drink, waking up immediately. As V3, they get a pick onto the enemy support. A little bit too hyphy there from Mark. But LGD are still in an all right spot, or are they, Raz? V3 are saying, we saw you get back to the base. We're going after the Baron now. Peanuts over the wall. This could be a big moment. Smite fights like this define games of League of Legends. Baron down to half HP. LGD has arrived. Surely V3 does not go all the way for this.
No way.
They're looking to just blow up Ace, and he's already out of the picture. Now can they find any more? It's the Kindred already down. Peanuts out of the picture. That was a critical error there. Now let's see if they can find anything else off the back of it. V3 cutting away. Long Xing at half HP. Boogie's over the wall. Boogie has his flash very soon. Might be able to make some sort of a play, but does not have it right now, meaning there's no chance to really do some sort of a flashy kick. They want to get away from the curtain call. Third shot hits Paz. Fourth shot goes into left field. Long Xing coming around from the side. Xie's there as well, but now Boogie's joining in, able to go for the kick, looking to start things off. Paz is going to be killed off. Xie's still alive. Double kill over to Kramer, looking to find even more. Rat-a-tat-tat, fire the gap. Mark grabs the kill into Boogie, and everybody on B3 is annihilated. A triple kill for Kramer. Get on back into the Baron pit, LGD. Take your prize.
And they're right back to step 1 and claiming that Baron. A wild series of events for both teams, honestly, because it was initially Mark finding himself at the wrong stop.
Oh, hi, Mark.
He was randomly in downtown LA. He's like, wait, I didn't want to go.
Oh, no.
I didn't want to go here. So that really put them in a bad position. But then from V3 side, it was just miscommunication. Honestly, I think this is fine from the Zoe if the team just wants to turn and fight. But instead, they tried to go on Baron at the same time as the Zoe is trying to set up. So they're on completely different chapters, let alone pages. And from this point, I mean, like, they're just going to round them up. They're on the wrong side of the map, and LGD can clear them out.
You can see them try to regroup. They know what's coming.
Yeah.
Doom is inbound, but they have to try to do something about it. I like the attempt from Boogie trying to kick Xie into the rest of the team, but the damage just wasn't there. And then, man, Kramer just gets paid over the course of this, and we aren't done yet. Paz goes into the Dominus. as we see a lot of damage down onto Peanut here once more. Pops the Lamb's Respite in time, having a flash away, keeping himself alive. Paz goes down first. Reyna on the retreat. Ornn looking to follow up. There's your damage. See you later. Godlike. Kramer, bow down and worship, baby. The man is doing some moves right now. Boogie picks up the kill into Peanut. Everybody just disappears before your eyes like some sort of magic trick. Boogie, the last man standing, but Kramer is spinning that thing around. He does not want this dude on his feet for long. Fourth shot. You are done, my friend. Longxing in the mid lane, looking for Ace here. He's the last dude alive on the side of V3. LGD, they gotta be hungry for this first win. I expect him to send it home very, very soon. As that mid lane inhibitor turret falls, mid lane getting shot to pieces. Kramer doing a lot of work here on this Jhin. 8-0 and 5.
10K gold lead here for LGD. Yeah, and they don't want to make any more mistakes, so it's smart from them to just head back to base and set up these matchups. So we didn't get to see the full setup as we come back, and it was just honestly V3 trying to take this fight, thinking that they can get the pick on towards Peanut. Peanut had ultimate. I mean, sure, he gets kicked at the very end of it, but it's just so difficult to take a fight into this team.
And then off to the side, you can see over the wall. Okay, Boogie comes in. He cleans up Kindred. But that is that's a small reward for a real big price, my friend. The price has been paid. LGD has been paid. 4,000 damage dealt by the Syndra, 3,500 by the Jhin in that last fight. I think Boogie's kick healed Longxing. If Longxing had 3,500 HP, he now has 3,501. It just gave him more health. He's so damn tanky as Xie and Peanut are set up here in the bottom lane, taking down the tier 2 turret. 16-6 your kill score in this game, as now they're marching down, trying to open up their second lane of super minions. Stun down onto Ace, who barely gets himself away there. If that deadly flourish hit, they might have just pulled the go button on that. Volleys fired off by Archer. Baron buffs still around for a couple more seconds. Should be enough to take down this tier 3 turret. And with the inhibitor exposed, I don't see any reason LGD would back away. Not with a lead like this. They might just look to force this one all the way to the Nexus. Both Nexus turrets still at full HP. It would be the only thing V3 could fight on. There's no way you can take a fight in open ground right now on this team. They would need just the perfect setup, and for LGD's keyboards to probably not work.
Yeah, that's literally what it comes down to for me. Because I'm struggling to figure out what it would take for this team to take a fight. Here we go.
It's starting off. Ornhorn summoned up. Braum throws out the shield, but he can't get to the rest of the team in time. Longxing's jumping in, finds the knockup onto the support. Now looking to regroup with the rest of the team as Mark loses half his HP. Longxing loses about 200. Not too worried about going any further. Mark still may be in some danger. Longxing once again using the Bellows Breath to perfectly buffer away from the sleep. You gotta love that interaction, or hate it if you're the dude trying to CC the Ornn. Over the wall comes Peanut. LGD still looking to maintain their pressure, maintain their position, maintain that advantage, escorting the minion wave into the mid lane. Ace isn't going to find a whole lot there with a paddle star. Longxing back up to full HP. Thank you very much. Warmog's armor. Syndra just took off half of Renekton's health. That Syndra is so damn huge this game. LGD get Nexus turret number 1. They're backing away right now. They used some resources in the last fight, and they're feeling like it's time to regroup before going for the jugular.
This is insanely conservative from LGD when literally no one can do damage to Longxing.
Yeah.
Any resources you throw at him, he has Warmog's regen as well. So it's just LGD desperately not wanting to throw a game away.
Which I can respect. After their first 2 games, especially after being ahead of Rainbow 7 and then feeling like it was just sort of tossed away from them, I can understand that bit of hesitation and really just wanting to take the sure thing here.
Yeah.
Everybody's already got Ornn items on this squad too. Longxing is at 17, which is where you get the last item for your teammates. Bard could get upgraded if he had something to upgrade, but considering he doesn't, it's not going to happen. LGD are just fine without Bard having an Ornn item because they've still got themselves an 11,000 gold lead. All they have to do is bring these super minions to the Nexus turrets, take that last one down. You can see Kramer has 5 out of 6 items complete, and the 6th item slot does have a stopwatch in it, so plenty of outplay potential there. V3 needs a miracle at this point in time. Longxing looking to chase down Reyna here, but won't find that volcanic eruption to manage to secure any sort of a slow. Drowsy, Bellows Breath. We've seen it happen 3 or 4 times already. Longxing knows the play, man.
All right, I guess we're just going for Soul.
Let's do it.
V3 right now just needs...
Boogie?
Okay, well.
Boogie, I don't think this is where you need to be, my friend. Ace tries to get away from Kramer, who's in hot pursuit. Meanwhile, it's going to be a 4v4 back in the mid lane instead. Cameron, go back to the left, please. I got to see the rest of the fight as Bar's looking to find some CC down to Boogie, looking to get himself away. Dragon secured over by Peanut instead. Paz trying to find some damage down to GA as Longshing's going to be stuck in the middle of 3. They finally kill the unkillable. It can be done. Miracles are performed as GA kites away, trying to find a little bit of damage. Boogie grabbing himself a double kill onto the support and top lane of the enemy team. V3 take a win here, but now what can they get? There's got to be some sort of a reward. You can't just trade the soul for nothing like that. Just for 2 kills, it will not work. Kramer and Peanut, double marksman squad, going after the base now. There are still 4 players left alive on the side of V3. It was a 1 for 2 overall. Ocean Soul also now on the side of LGD. V3, yeah, for the first time in a long time, they got an advantageous kill trade, but at what cost? LGD pushing down the tier 2 turret there in the top lane. Arrow makes a beautiful field goal, but unfortunately those aren't worth any points in League of Legends. Paz coming around from behind, running like a bat out of hell. The Gator got his Nikes on as Peanut tries to kite away now, and Paz just bites off more than he can chew. That is a nearly full build Jhin, and you are not in the kind of spot to be able to contest that one. One single shot, 50% of Boogie's health bar, and Ornn has returned. Kill him once, and now he's just the same thing, but he's mad. Peanut shows up, grabs the kill onto Paz, and with the enemy top laner down, we'll see what else LGD is able to find here. Ace loses half his HP. Peanut still burning away here a little bit, could be in danger. Boogie with the sonic wave over the wall, won't find the mark. He wanted to just try to assassinate him there at the very end, as the inhibitor falls again in mid lane. That one had just respawned. Nexus turret under pressure. Lots of damage down there. The Braum will try to block some of it, but it won't matter, man. Reyna's gone. Redemption called down there. Lamb's Respite also used just to make sure there's no mistakes coming in now. And the Nexus drops for the first time. LGD take themselves a win here at World 2020 Play-Ins.
And you probably heard it from here. The biggest sigh of relief from Peanut that they do have a win on that column. They took Amazing Device, straightforward team fight comp.
Yes, sir.
There were a lot of moments where you had to be hesitating, because I thought V3 actually played the early portions of the game pretty well around the first few dragons. I thought LGD have a few points that they need to take a lesson on V3. So kudos to V3 in the early portion of the game, but the moment that